We've talked a lot about the wonderful foods that can help build and maintain strong bones, especially as we get older. But have you ever wondered if there are foods that might actually be working against your bone health, silently undermining your efforts? It's a crucial question because what we don't eat, or what we eat less of, can sometimes be just as important as what we do eat. Today, we're flipping the script and looking at 5 common food types or components that seniors should consider limiting to better protect their precious bone density and strength. Welcome back to Foods for Seniors US. I'm James Wilson, and we're here to navigate these important nutritional choices together. Stay with me, because understanding these can truly empower you to make even smarter choices for your bones. And number 3 might surprise you. Quickly before we dive in, this video provides educational information only about dietary considerations for bone health and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. The key is often moderation, not complete elimination for most. For personalized guidance, please always consult your doctor or a registered dietitian. So, why do certain foods pose a challenge to our bones? It often comes down to how they affect our body's ability to absorb and retain calcium, the primary mineral for bone strength, or how they might promote inflammation or calcium loss from the body. It's all about maintaining a delicate balance. Let's look at what we should be mindful of. First on our list to be mindful of is excessive sodium, or salt. While we need some sodium for bodily functions, most Americans, including many seniors, consume far too much, often hidden in processed and restaurant foods. Here's the connection to your bones. When you consume a lot of sodium, your kidneys work to excrete the excess. Unfortunately, as sodium is flushed out through urine, it tends to pull calcium along with it. This means the more salt you eat, the more calcium your body might lose, potentially weakening your bones over time if your calcium intake isn't sufficient to compensate. Where sodium hides, it's not just the salt shaker. The biggest culprits are often processed foods, canned soups, frozen dinners, deli meats, sauces, condiments, fast food, and restaurant meals. Smart strategy: read food labels carefully for sodium content. Aim for lower numbers. Cook more meals at home where you control the salt. Use herbs, spices, lemon juice, and vinegar for flavor instead of relying heavily on salt. Next up are those tempting, sugary drinks, sodas, sweetened fruit juices, sugary iced teas, and sports drinks. These offer little to no nutritional value, just a lot of empty calories from sugar. How do they affect bones? Several ways. Displacement. If you're filling up on sugary drinks, you might be drinking less of bone-healthy beverages like milk or fortified plant milks. Phosphoric acid in some colas. Some studies suggest that very high intake of phosphoric acid, common in many dark colas, might interfere with calcium absorption or alter calcium balance, though more research is needed for definitive conclusions in humans. Overall, poor diet. High intake of sugary drinks often goes hand in hand with a diet lower in essential bone-building nutrients. Healthier sips: choose water, plain or infused with fruit, unsweetened tea, or milk/fortified plant milks. If you enjoy soda, consider it an occasional treat rather than a daily habit. This one might surprise some. Excessive caffeine. Now let me be clear, moderate coffee or tea intake, around 2 to 3 cups a day, is generally considered fine for most healthy adults and may even have some health benefits. However, very high levels of caffeine, think many cups of strong coffee or relying heavily on energy drinks, can slightly increase calcium excretion in urine, similar to sodium. It can also potentially interfere with vitamin D absorption to a small degree. The key is moderation and source. The main concern isn't usually your morning cup or two. It's when caffeine intake becomes excessive, or if you're getting it from less healthy sources like sugary energy drinks, which have other issues too. Enjoy your coffee or tea, but be mindful of your total daily intake. And if you're a big caffeine consumer, ensure your calcium and vitamin D intake is adequate. Number 4 requires a bit of nuance. Extremely high protein diets, particularly from animal sources. If your calcium intake is not adequate, protein is essential for bone health, as we've discussed. It forms the matrix of our bones. However, some research suggests that very high intakes of animal protein, when not balanced by sufficient calcium, might lead to increased calcium loss through the kidneys. This isn't about demonizing protein, we need it. The issue arises more in diets that are excessively meat-heavy and simultaneously low in calcium-rich foods, like dairy, leafy greens, fortified foods. It's about the balance. The balanced approach. Ensure your diet includes good sources of protein along with plenty of calcium-rich foods. If you eat a lot of meat, make sure you're also getting enough dairy or other calcium sources. Plant-based proteins like beans and lentils don't seem to have this same effect on calcium excretion. And finally, number 5, excessive alcohol intake. While light to moderate alcohol consumption might not pose a significant threat to bone health for most, heavy or chronic alcohol use certainly can. Excessive alcohol can interfere with the body's ability to absorb calcium and vitamin D. It can also affect hormone levels in ways that are detrimental to bone formation. Furthermore, heavy drinking increases the risk of falls, which can lead to fractures, especially if bones are already weakened. Guideline for moderation. If you choose to drink, current U.S. guidelines generally recommend up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men. A standard drink is about 12 oz beer, 5 oz wine, or 1.5 oz distilled spirits. Exceeding this regularly can harm your bones and overall health. So, to protect your bones, be mindful of excessive sodium, sugary drinks, very high caffeine intake, unbalanced, high animal protein diets without enough calcium, and excessive alcohol. The overarching message here is to focus on a balanced diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods. When you do that, you naturally limit many of these potentially problematic components and provide your body with the good stuff it needs for strong bones and overall health. And as always, please discuss your dietary habits and bone health concerns with your doctor or a registered dietitian for personalized advice. I hope this video has shed some light on foods to be mindful of for optimal bone health. If it was helpful, please click that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to Foods for Seniors US and hit the bell for more insights. Is there any food on this list that surprised you? Or do you have a question about a specific food and bone health? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Take great care of your bones, and I'll see you in the next video.